Andrew, I'm on Bubbles of Cutline. I've just come from Bubbles of Dam. Where are they, sorry?
I'm trying to get out of here.
Hi everybody, Brent is over there. The dogs are heading towards the dam. The dam is over there. We're all going in the same place.
Okay,
and whoever gets to see them first, well, good luck to him. Very much a team effort, this of course. I can smell a water bug. Dogs. Right, we're going to turn down the fire brake here. Not a particularly good piece of road. Hold on, Brian. Watch the aerial doesn't drown you. So they're just in there, in theory. But they do move at an incredible speed. Okay, let's go across to Brent. I think he's got them.
We've got the dogs. They're at the Buffelshoek waterhole. They just managed to sneak behind us. I'm just going to tell Andrew where they are quickly. Andrew, they're at the Martina. They just chased some... pups in front of us. This is the first time I've seen these pups. They're all very unsure about that hippopotamus. And this is definitely a fantastic play. I'm just going to try get opposite the puppies while they drink. You can see wild dogs are always very, very nervous around water. They're very scared of crocodiles. And so you can see the little guys drinking out of a little puddle a little bit further back from the water. See that very nervous watching the water, and also the hippos, they need a little bit of movement, sometimes cause them to get a bit of a fright. Screenshots of this. Oh, here we go. Hello little guys. So I'm ecstatic. This is the first time I've seen these guys with the little ones. And it's amazing that they are completely free of a den already at this young age, and they travel with the pack. Hello, little guys. So there's one run, they're going to run on top of the wall. There was some water bugs just on the other side. Okay. Oh, hello. So we can't move. We've got wild dogs all around behind us, coming to have a closer look. And I love it when they're this age. Their feet almost look too big for the rest of them. Got a bit of growing to do. So it is a big pack. There are 3 adults in this pack and 11 pups from what I last heard. But very sad. Wild dogs have about a 70% mortality rate with the youngsters. So I think there were 12 or 13 when they started. I'm not 100% sure. those hearing the click, it's just me taking a few photographs. I'm trying to get left side, or was it right, or left side photographs for the Endangered Wildlife Trust to monitor all the wild dogs in this area. So if any of these do make it to adulthood, they'll have an ID kit for them. Okay, before they disappear, I've followed wild dogs a lot in my years, and I know how quickly they can move. So I'm going to try and get up ahead so we don't lose them. Hold on. Very happy person right now. And yeah, we're going to lose signal possibly through the step, but we'll be up through. So we've got all the youngsters here. Oh, they're so wonderful. I'm hoping that we're going to actually turn. So guys, it's going to be on the radio just to let them know, everyone else know where they're going. Andrew, can you still see them? There we go. Oh. Okay. It looks like that. So guys, I'm just going to concentrate quite heavily while I try to follow them through this area. It's not the most ideal. It's quite a thick block, and we don't want to lose them. Gives you some serious work.
These dogs ran to the south, into the block.
There we go. Just quickly, I didn't quite catch the name of those. Concentrating on not breaking the car, but the question was, are they considered shorned? Are they considered the most successful? They have about an 80% success rate in areas, so 8 out of 10 times that they chase something, they catch it. As opposed to lion and cheetah and leopard stuff are all well below 20%. Andrew, they're still moving sort of south in the block, parallel to Quarry Pan. A good place would be Quarry Pan Junction with Inyala Red North. Oh boy. Andrew, you got your hard hat on? So we've got one adult leading in the front there. And we've got all the youngsters opposite us. Sorry guys, I'm just going to try and have to coordinate. The other guys with the longer vehicles sometimes have quite a lot of trouble following the dogs through these thick blocks. adults here. I think the youngsters are behind us. It's hard to believe that we can lose. Fortunately for us, we found a big elephant path, which makes our life moving through here a little bit easier. I can't see the rest of the pack now, but as long as we can see one, going down to the road. And we keep an eye on it for me. You want to try? Get us through. James. We can't go that way. So guys, unfortunately, they are going down into an area where we have some bad signal, but I'll try and get there as soon as possible. And I can't actually go, it's a really steep drop off the drainage line. There's
Hello everybody, as you can see, we're having a little spot of bother. Brent has lost. It's not unusual. He will follow the dogs. We will try and start the car, being poisoned as we speak by various gases coming out of this foul and useless vehicle that was called Rusty. All right, we'll go back to Brent. We'll keep you posted.
Craig, say again, I was busy. What's the update on the Dodge?
Oh, yeah.
So we're running after the crew, but the now. Yeah, I got a young crew here standing from standby. Yeah, copy.
Broken. Look at that, isn't that wonderful? FM Yellow Road North Junction Quarry Pan. Oh, look at that, isn't that just wonderful?
Okay, so see if I can turn around. But if they cross west instead of horrible stuff, or maybe try Heine Road.
They've crossed now. I can't move, I'm afraid. The car is broken. He's got something with a gallon of oil I poured into it. Louise, can you confirm with... All right, everybody. If you did, I did say a very bad word about the car just now. Sorry about that. If you did hear it, I apologize, especially if there are kids watching. The dogs have gone off in there. Yeah. Yeah. So, if you didn't hear it, dogs have gone off through there towards Hyena Road. The car is totally stationary, I'm afraid. I can't start the engine. So Brent is here now. He will try and cut through there. Tax will go around the other side to try and pick them up on Hyena Road. And well, that's the state of play at the moment. Brent's signal is not very good where he is at the moment, so I'm afraid you're going to have to stay with me for now. And I will... We will narrate as we can. I'm going to try and start the car again. Dearly, sorry, my car is no longer functioning.
Oh shit!
Yes, as you would. Okay. Will you bring me some supper? It'll be wonderful. Thank you.
It might be supper.
I might be. Yes. Good point. It could be. Yeah. This is a paint job, cosmetic. Don't. I'll be okay. I live here. Yes, exactly. Could be all sorts of things. Right. So, well, at least we've seen some kind of mammals coming past us at this stage. Right, let's go straight across to Brent. I think he's...
Go back.
Guys, the dogs ran past James into this area, so we're trying to see where they went now. And we've managed to get through the to Hyena Road. Up the side so I can get a little bit more height.
Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back on the vehicle with us. Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're
On the way! they go through there. Or more of them there. More chase. They're on the chase. Came tearing past us. We got the car going, and there they are, flanking next to the vehicle. Let's just stop here. We'll just have a listen.
Coming also on Kielkatlan.
To the west. And okay, they're now back at the dam. Well done, Brian. This is such fun. Hello, little pups. These are just the pups. And there's an adult. Oh, look, it's chased. They've chased an impala into the dam. Or Nyala. That's amazing. This is unbelievable. Nyala into the dam. All animals are not here.
How many vehicles are there? On the fire break,
One station here so far. It's going at the moment.
Alright, can I join it?
Yeah, affirmative. Look at this, everybody. You've got a great view of exactly what's going on. So the three adults, or two adults, are now streaming around. Now, what I predict is going to happen is that eventually that, what is it? Is it a Nyala?
Yeah.
Eventually that Nyala is going. The hippo could attack it. I've seen that happen before. But I suspect, I'm afraid,
I'll let you know when I'm
the days of that Nyala are probably over.
Alright, right at the dam wall now. So yeah, I can't come in. I've got to wait for you to fill up, so I'll just take a standby. No problem at all.
Absolutely amazing. Oh, what an afternoon. Thankfully, we got this car. Eleven. That's still 11. Two adults. Don't know where the other one is. Oh, look at this. So they won't go in there after him, I don't think. It's highly unlikely that they'll go in there.
Take 6. Standing by. Yellow channel.
Oh, look at this. This is just unbelievable. Now, everybody, we might have to make way, I'm afraid, for another game drive. That is how it works out here. We have to be very cognizant of the other game drives and certainly the efforts that they put in to find animals. So we may well have to. Itata Aubrey. Okay, loko afike nindawo uma. Huh? Sure.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Yeah,
Be calm.
very nice actually.
Yeah. That's it. Very kind of him indeed.
Okay. Same by six. Foil. But there's three more in the line. Foil. Next six.
Yeah, this is actually fun. We probably will make this what we call a 4 vehicle sighting. So we will allow 4 people into it. Because it's just unbelievable. Now these dogs are very good swimmers, everybody. They are very good swimmers. And Ginny and Country Girl Ash, you want to know why won't the dogs go in there after the Nyala? The answer is because run the risk of drowning. They can swim very well, but remember, they're not water predators, so they could grab it, but they couldn't then swim and try and pull it out. It's heavier than them, and so these dogs are so close now. Look at them just right here with us. So they could definitely swim to it. The little ones have got bored now. Now the adults will wait for this Nyala. I'm afraid the patience of the dogs, I think, is going to win the day here.
All three open.
Every day.
Marriage to them.
Rather than swimming, it is definitely standing, unless it has an exceptional ability to tread water. It's most certainly standing, Paul. And I think that dog is trying to get hold of a terrapin. It's a dog. They're trying to get hold of something in the water. Paul, yeah, I don't think it will outweight them. You know, often normally it doesn't. They don't outweight them. Normally, eventually. Them eventually, however, if it's very deep, it'll get tired and have to come out, or it'll get so cold that it has to come out, or it might die there and eventually be kind of either sink to the ground or be eaten by the terrapins. But things don't look good. The only thing in the favor of that Nyala is that it's getting dark now. Now, what that means. So we need to be very sensitive to how they move. We don't want to put any kind of pressure on them at all, and so we will not be putting a light on the dogs at all. But so the advantage, of course, for the Nyala is that if the dogs move off as it gets dark, it may be able to sneak off. This is just astonishing.
Coming down. Try. Yeah,
Copy that. Just to keep you posted. Oh, sorry. I just need to talk on the radio, everyone. Copy that. We don't have light for my face, but that's okay. We'll deal with it. Everybody, the great news, or the sad Brent Smith, it's current occurrence if you're ever going to stay with dogs on the hunt, and there is no better in the business than Brent Smith at staying with dogs on the hunt. So unfortunately for him, his day is over, as it were, but we're going to stay with these dogs for as long as we is really astonishing. I don't know where the other adult is though. I'm sure it's all right. So we were just chatting about what are the chances of that darkness will be that Nyala's friend. I think that the dogs don't have great night eyesight. It's better than ours, but it's not like a cat's. They only hunt on moonlit nights. There's not going to be a moon tonight. There's a big bank of cloud coming over. So the Nyala, which sees probably about the same standard as the dogs do at night, might be able to slip off. If they are around here, though, and they get wind of that Nyala coming out of the water, they'll smash it. I think the water is probably pretty warm. It's very shallow, so I don't really think that hypothermia is going to be too much of a problem. These little dogs. The little ones are just over here by. Where the adult is. They just going to play around here. Here's one of the adults. So like I say, just to warn you everybody, I don't think we're going to see the end of this because we won't put a light on them. So we won't be putting a light on them because this is just spectacular. And I'm sure you can hear and see in the astonishing excitement that Brent and I feel that for both of us, wild dogs on the hunt are the most exciting thing that we can possibly see out here. Now, once when I was a young guide, many years ago, we had a pack at a place called Ngala, not far from here. It's starting to rain, everyone. This is really not great news for us. It's the only dog I've ever seen that had a black tail, and as Velma has correctly pointed out, they are mostly white-tailed at the back, almost universally so, and I think that's a good could well be because that's a good way for them to follow each other. Let's see what happens now. If you hear some rustling and stuff and the camera isn't moving, it's because we do have to put a rain cover on it. And in Brian's hand, and that won't be very good at all. So if you have just joined us, we've just had the astonishing privilege of watching these wild dogs hunting. There are 11 puppies behind us, 2 adults in front. There is an adult missing, but he or she has got lost on the hunt. As far as I understand it, this is known as the investing pack. It's certainly the pack that we see here most often. There we've got one of the adults and all of the puppies are behind us now. We'll get you a picture of them as soon as we've managed to get the rain cover on to the camera. Andrew, I could try and maneuver this car. I'm just wondering if it's going to start. And I don't want the hooter to go off again. There we go, we're okay. This tree here. There they come. I think we were, to be honest. There we go. Get a better view there. How are you doing there, Brian? Great. Go along here. We will turn the camera, if you want, everyone. Is that hopeless for you? It's pretty hopeless. Okay. I just don't want to go down there if they're going to move around too much. Because like I say, we've made this what we call a 4-vehicle sighting, which is absolutely fine. Well done, Brian. So there is a certain amount of danger that these dogs face at the moment. They're out in the open, and there's certainly a kill on the way. Now, there's a very distinct predator hierarchy out here amongst the major predators, and it is obviously fronted here. Fronted by the lions, then the hyenas, then the wild dogs, then the leopard, then the cheetah. And Monique, you want to know, first of all, are they at risk from other predators? All the time. They are definitely at risk from other predators, hyenas and lions specifically. And 2 of them would certainly be able to kill it. I suspect one of them could if they got hold of it. But 2 of them, along with the help of the pups, will help a little bit now when the killing begins. They're all just behind us there. What a day. Started out very quietly indeed. I had a brief feeling of wild dogs, I must say. Very patient now. And the one thing with a lot of these mammals, you can get emotion from a dog's face, you can get emotion from a cat's face. You don't get any emotion from an antelope's face. Their faces look the same, whether they're terrified, ecstatic, about to give birth, not about to give birth, starving to death, it doesn't matter. The facial expression is the same. And what I wonder is what's going through that happy. It must be almost terrified out of its wits. Will make the comparison between these dogs and hyenas, and the big thing, they do live in a similar kind of society, well, sort of, and many of you would also have seen, like Bree has mentioned, that when we go to a hyena den, the little pups, or the cubs, come up and they start to bite on the wheels, and you want to know if the dogs will do the same. Bree, they don't. The dogs don't tend to come that close. They certainly will come pretty close. They don't tend to investigate as much, and I think it's because they're not scavengers. They're one of the few predators that and scavenge. They will only eat fresh meat. They're all going round the side now. There we go, some nice movement now. Here they all come. Pups are just coming up the side of the dam wall there. So, many of you who are regular watchers will have seen this before. Apparently, Marga and Larry have just told us in this very dam, a pregnant impala was chased in. Didn't end well for the impala. We've certainly heard many times, and Christine, thank you. We've also heard of this happening twice in the Arathusa Dam in the last probably month. These three adults have chased a youngster, or not a youngster, they've chased Nyala, bushbuck I think, into the dam, and twice the hippo actually get to eat it after all. And so that's why I said that Nyala is not necessarily safe from the hippo. Now, Jackie's class, you've got 5 minutes left of your class. Well, I'm so glad that you're spending some time here, and apparently you can hear some yipping or some calling of birds, and you want to know if it's alarm calling or birds calling. It is almost certainly are not calling to each other. They did do some little bit of whining at each other briefly just now, but at the moment they're totally silent. And if we look at the ones on the wall here, on the dam wall in front of us, they are listening carefully, especially the other adult. It's listening carefully to see if it can hear, I suspect, to see if it can hear the other adult. I'll tell you what, Brian, I can do that. Anna-Marie, how long they'll stay for, they will... Oh dear, I've made a mess of the light. Sorry, we just have to figure out the light here. Anna-Marie, they will stay here for as long at night, dogs are not safe. Well, I mean, no animals particularly safe out here, but the dogs are not very safe, and so they will probably hang around the place, but they won't be running around like this during the night, especially as there's no moon at all. Let's find some kind of elephant dung to chew on while they wait for the nyala. It's not unusual for this to happen, for an animal to go herring into the water to get away from certainly wild dogs and leopard and lion. Leopard and lion, of course, if there's going to be a kill and they do make a chase, the chances of it going, unless it's right next to the water, it wouldn't happen like this, because it's either over, they either miss and then give up, or the little ones are coming right towards us. And then that's the end of that. But the dogs, of course, will chase from a long way off. Two very Penny, you think that nyala is being very smart by standing still. It is certainly being smart. But Bearonka, you think maybe it's in shock. I think it's probably a bit of both. I think it knows that if it comes anywhere from where it is, I think it is being smart. It's right in the middle of the water there. It's not closer to either side. It's right in the middle of the water, and I don't think it's going to go... Luckily for it, it is sort of summertime. Yeah, I say sort of because there's a chilly wind blowing. So, Ravi in New York, I'm just turning the light on. Along with one or two hassles that along with one or two I've got the strobe light going.
Put it on strobe function. I'll hold it, it's fine.
Along with one or two problems that Rusty's having, we don't have a light. We've got a portable light. Ravi, you say that hippo are herbivores. Absolutely they are. Why would they pose a threat? I don't know the answer to this, because I've seen footage of hippos saving animals from predators, certainly from crocodiles. We've seen at Arathusa them killing animals that are in mortal danger. They don't eat the animals at all. They kill them. I think it's because they don't want to attract predators to their area. They feel highly threatened. They're certainly the animals that feel the most threatened, because they have to have the water. So they need to be in the water all the time. So they have to be very careful about allowing predators around the place, and I think that's probably why they do it. The aspect ratio, or the sort of two-dimensional picture that you're getting, is not an accurate reflection of how far away the impala is from the hippo. It's probably at least it's quite a long way away from the hippo. So it looks closer than it is on the picture that you're looking at. The dogs are right next to me now, but we can't put a light on them, so it's almost pointless shining on them or looking at them. Oh, look at that. So the camera, you may notice that it's starting to look a little what we call pixelated. It's or grainy. That's because it's much darker than it looks on your screen, and so the camera is really trying to suck out as much light as it can from what are incredibly dim conditions. As we were chatting about things with Ravi and the fact that these hippo are herbivores, so why on earth would they be killing something like that? Nyala and Lindsay, you have just pointed out, of course, that they regularly save prey species from predators. I don't know how regular it is, but Lindsay, I've certainly seen footage of it, but I've equally heard many stories of hippo killing prey species that were being chased by predators. So, it's a very difficult one to understand from the point of view of the hippo. Ooh, it's getting dark. I mean, it's almost pitch black. I think you just made the comment that you hope that the hippo does chase the dogs off. I sort of share that sentiment. I don't like seeing a terrified, hapless animal there. The dogs have to eat, though, of course. But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that these dogs will be vaguely afraid. Much faster than the hippo would be. The hippo will not be long before they actually come out of the water now. And then Monique in London, sorry, I'm just having a quick look at what's going on. You want to know basically what do the dogs eat most of the time? Well, they eat animals exactly that size, about the size of an adult male impala, but they'll take steenbok, much bigger prey if they can with a big pack. But remember, there are only 3 adults in this little pack. So Nyala is about the right size for them. You can feel that breeze, or you can't feel it, but I can feel a breeze starting to come. It's touched with a little bit of moisture from the clouds, and it is now. And the smell of them, Brian's just actually pointing out to me, of course, that is assailing our nostrils. And I mean, at home, when you smell this, it's not a very pleasant smell, but out here, it's the most exciting smell in the world. Thank you for that, Brian. It does. It really does smell like a kind of dirty, wet dog. So these puppies will normally stay with the pack for about a year. Oh, there's the adult, just giving some discipline. Oof, and that smell is really strong, especially after Brian's just mentioned it. I'm now looking for it with my nose, of course. And powerful, huh?
Tang to it.
It is a real tang. So they'll is that they go off, and the males will go one way and the females the other, and they will form a new pack with males and females from other packs, and so that stops inbreeding. That's generally what happens. So these guys will probably hang around until the breeding season next year, and then they'll probably move off. You'll probably find in a small pack like this that a few of them might remain behind and sort of augment. You think it's dark on your screens, everyone. I can barely see those dogs in front of us. So just to reiterate to all of you, and I know you're all enjoying it, but we are not going to turn any lights on for these dogs. They are diurnal. If it was just the adult pack, I would use a big elephant. Ooh. This is going to be interesting. This elephant has taken great exception to the dogs. I'm also not going to put a light on the elephant. So just to say, what I would do, in the absence of the pups, I'd put that may well threaten the pups. It might attract other predators. We don't know if it does. There is some evidence to suggest that lights and spotlights will get out. I can't be stuck here on this wall. This elephant decides to come down here. not like predators, as you just noticed. So, just back to the lighting thing, there is some evidence to suggest that spotlights might attract something like a hyena. We definitely don't want to attract a hyena to this area, and so we're going to leave the lights off. If it was just the adults, I'd put on a dim light. Valid question from Leslie. Will they give up in the darkness? They might give up, Leslie. I don't know, to be honest, what they're going to do. It is quite interesting to see. I'm not really sure.
I shall see you in the morning.
Yes, marvellous sighting.
You might get trampled by an elephant.
That's why I've moved off the wall. So we'll come down to the water side here. Everybody, we're going to just sort of plant ourselves over here, get a different view. At least you can get the light of the dimming sky. What I will do is put a light onto the hyena, not to the hyena. That's what's that thing called? It's a nyala. We'll put a light onto the. So what I'm going to do is just reverse into this little nook over here. There. Maybe just reverse up here, see what happens. So the dogs on the other side of the wall there's no point in us following them because of course we can't put the light. I'm just taking off this room. See there the beautiful horizon, and that light of the eye there you can see is the nyala. So, we were chatting briefly earlier about the predator hierarchy and lions at the top, then hyenas, and Sarah in Ohio, aged just 18. Will the dogs go away if the hyenas come through? Definitely. They will definitely go away. They won't stop to fight hyenas in the darkness. That is a highly unlikely thing for them to do. If it was one or two hyena, then they might. But with these, even with these little pups, I just don't think that's going to happen. So it's probably about 20 degrees Celsius here now, with the wind chill probably down to maybe 16. And there's one dog on the wall there. I can just make it out. There you can see it in the top of your corner there. And Christine, about hypothermia and the possibility of that nyala getting hypothermia. Christine, I'd say the water is probably sitting at about 21 or 22 degrees Celsius, maybe even more. In fact, probably around 24. That's pretty warm. And so I don't really think that hypothermia is going to be too much of an issue for a few hours. You said you think probably about an hour. I think it's got a lot longer than an hour in water of this temperature. The wind starts to blow, because then its back is going to get cold, and obviously it's not designed to be in water, and so eventually, well, a bit like us in water, it will start to get a little bit wrinkly and eventually probably struggle. Now, it's still sitting there. There is still a dog watching it from the top of the wall. The hippo have also turned. And it is always always nice when our viewers show deep concern for us. Certainly there was outpourings of sympathy for Brian and the injury he sustained. Oh dear, here we go. The hippo is moving towards the Nyala now. Sharon, and you worry that whether we're safe or not. Sharon, the nighttime doesn't really affect, of course, always. Like that elephant was coming, and it's just, you know, we couldn't escape from the elephant on the top of the wall, so we came off the wall just in case he got so irritated by the dogs that he took it out on us. The Nyala is now moving, but we're pretty safe here. You're certainly not going to take any chances, though. That Nyala knew immediately that the hippo were moving towards it. And it's now heading towards the shore. So Bearonka, you want to know why we've put the light on the Nyala? It's just simply so that you can see it. Basically, it's not going to affect the Nyala. It's a very, very dim LED light. It's not nearly as bright. So it's almost pitch black to my eyes, and I have to actually, when I want to see where the Nyala is, I've actually got to look at my viewing monitor. So don't worry, we're not affecting it, and we're certainly not going to put any direct light onto it. We want it to have the best chance it can. It's coming out of the water now. I will tell you that the dogs are coming. Now, if the dogs come this way, I'm going to have to kill the light, I'm afraid. The Nyala is now out of the water. So I don't want to shine the light on it at all now. So I've taken the light clean off it. So I don't want to affect whether the dogs kill it or not. We could very easily stick a spotlight on it and the dogs would come running, I'm sure. They are coming. They are actually coming. If they get around here, I'm going to kill the light, everybody. I'm very sorry about that. You can see them running there. Right, I'm going to kill the light. And we're just going to listen. Here they come. They're coming past us. We'll tell you if we hear them kill. Oh, it's gone back into the water. The dogs are growling. Oh, you can't even see anybody. I'm sorry about this. But really, one day also possibly get. There's another elephant there coming down. Sorry, I'm just going to turn the light on. I need to see what's going on, just in case. There we go. We're okay. So we're sitting here basically in the pitch black, sort of dimly lit, and Paul and Monique, very good questions about who can see in the dark, how well the Nyala sees in the dark, can the dog see in the dark. The Nyala will see better than us, but not as well as a cat in the darkness, and likewise the dogs will probably. So much better than us, but not very well. Ooh, here come the hippo. I'm just going to quickly flash the light on. Okay. The hippo are going for the Nyala now. Oh dear. They're on it. They're right there. So I know you can't see anything. The hippo, from what I can see, and I mean I'm pretty much staring into the darkness here. I'm going to just flick the light on quickly. I still can't really see because I've turned it. The first hippo is no more than 6 feet from the Nyala. The pups are all pretty close by on the. We're just going to probably have to leave the camera on the angle that it is, because that's the only way you're going to see that you're actually receiving a picture. So just to reiterate, if you've just joined us, diurnal animals, Nyala's diurnal, dogs are diurnal. We don't want to attract any other predators. We could do that if we turned the light on. We could also blind the Nyala, which would put it at an unfair advantage. So while this is unfortunately not easy for you to see, I will narrate through what I can see, and one day when we have the equipment for it, we'll be able to do this without affecting anything. There have been 2 elephants that have come past here that I have seen. One just very quietly in the bush to the left-hand side of your screen, and the other a big bull who was shouting because he saw the predators, and that's very common with elephants. Now, all the dogs are right in front of us. 11 little shadows. The hippo, that's a hippo snorting. I'm sure they're getting closer to the Nyala. They're probably watching the dogs as well. So we'll just keep sitting right where we are. And thank you, Suzanne, for your compliment and understanding that we can't, of course, turn the light on. That is just the way of things. The dogs have now moved off en masse to the right-hand side of your screen. I'm not sure why they've done that. I can just, if you listen carefully, you can hear them drinking. And possibly a good time while there's a bit of a hiatus in the action here. Possibly a good time to talk about the social structure of dogs. And Country Girl Ash, you want to know, do they run like wolf packs? They run exactly like wolf packs. 2 alphas, alpha male and female, will take care of the breeding, and then there's a beta pair, and sometimes they breed, and most of the time they don't, and often the alpha pair will kill the beta pair's pups if they do have them, but yeah. That's exactly how it goes, and the rest is a very strict dominance hierarchy. So there is a hiatus. The hippo has moved away from the Nyala. It's now, the distance is now about 20 meters. That is about 70 feet. So that kind of interaction has stopped. The dogs are off to the right-hand side. You may be able to hear the pups making the odd whining sound. Not that, that was a bird. Another bird. Now, what we did when we watched these dogs at the beginning, they were chasing this Nyala through the bush, and eventually the Nyala leapt into the water. And Sandra, you want to know if the Nyala could outrun the dogs? No. That's why it took the chance to leap into the water. On a straight, if you had a 100-meter straight and you pit a Nyala against a wild dog, I think it would be a pretty close race. But with a pack of them, after one, you see what they do is that they separate out the... That was dogs you heard. They're all around the dam now, in different places. So what happens is the pack separates out the Nyala cow from the little herd, and because there are so many of them and only one of her, there's a lot of panic. She can't see where they're going. They're running through the woodland. The odds are really stacked in the dog's favor. So very difficult for her to then outrun the dogs in an environment like this. discussion today about the hierarchy of predators, of the top 5 predators here, not to be confused with the big 5, an antiquated term that in my opinion should never be used again. But the top 5 predators, Ravi in New York, wonderful questions we're getting from you today, thank you for them. Lions at the top. You've said jaguars. Jaguars, of course, don't occur here. They occur in South America. You probably meant leopard. So how it goes here is lions, they're big and in groups. Hyenas, they're almost as big and in groups. Then dogs, they're smaller but in a group. Then the leopard, and then the cheetah. The 2 solitary predators way below the other 3. And that is simply because of the fact that they cannot take risks. The dogs, the hyenas, and the lions are prepared to take risks because they live in groups, and it so therefore means that even should they be injured, they will still be able to eat. So that's the kind of predator hierarchy that we have here, Ravi. The dogs are pretty much 3rd and 2nd. It depends on the numbers as to what's, where they sit. And it's purely got to do with the amount of risk that they can take and then size. So at the moment, the hippos have moved even further away from the Nyala. They are about 30 meters, Brian? 30-ish. That's almost 90 to 100 feet. And they seem to be thinking about coming out of the water to go and graze. The dogs, I've actually lost sight of. I'm going to flick the, because there's not much action going on, I'm just going to flick the light on quickly and see if we can see them. They've gone. You know that? You see the dogs?
No.
The dogs have gone. That's interesting. I wonder if that one that was on its own didn't make a kill. Called the others away. We'll just lift the light a little bit so that it's not shining straight onto the dam. The dogs have gone. I can't hear them anymore. So we had lots of very good questions about whether or not they'd stay, whether they'd outweight it, and I think what's happened is either the other adult has killed and perhaps called them and they're now going to look there, or they're around the corner huddling in a group. They will need to stay in a group, of course, because what happens is that once the night falls, of course their vision is that much poorer, and they also, there's no moon, so they don't see very well. I'm just going to kill the light again, I'm afraid. I don't want to affect the interaction between the Nyala and the hippo. So we'll kill that light. The other light's having no effect on it at all. Okay, so I think the dogs have gone to ground. Either that or they've gone off to try and find something else to eat with the other pack member. But there's no moon tonight, and so it's going to be very dark, and they won't hunt in light like this. It's dangerous for them to hunt in light like this. They run at such a speed that the chances of them ripping up their guts, and this does happen, especially with cheetah, who run at 100 kilometers an hour or 60 miles per hour, if they're running and they don't see what's going on, they can sort of run over the top of a sharp stump and cut themselves and really hurt themselves badly. And the dogs, they run at such a lick through this woodland, and us disappearing from here. And those dogs are now moving with the pack. So we had 11 pups and 3 adults, and the youngsters are now moving with the pack. And what that means, just to dovetail into Monique's next question, in London, that means that they don't have a den anymore. They've left the den, they're now running with the pack. And this is the first time I've actually seen the pups hunting with the pack. We've seen them move. The adults have normally left them bunched underneath a bush somewhere. They'll go off and hunt and then come back and regurgitate food for the pups. It's the first time I've seen the pups actually on the hunt with the adults, which is very exciting. Just quickly to finish off, I'm not sure that I answered Ravi's question correctly, where you wanted to know, Ravi, the success rate of the predators, of those top 5 predators. What's the kind of hierarchy? Definitely the dogs are the most successful. They kill about 7. Astonishing. It's at least double lions. Probably leopards are probably about 40%, lions about 30%. Hyenas, what's going on here. I'm just going to have a quick look. Ooh, oh, that Nyala's now in trouble. All 3 hippo are moving towards it. If they do attack it, I will turn the light on because there's not, we're not going to affect it if there's an actual attack. Let's just watch what's happening here. I can't see at the moment, but we'll be able to hear if something goes kawula. So I think that we've got 8 minutes left of the drive. I don't think there's any point in us going anywhere else. We're not going to spot anything else. So I'm also not even sure I'll be able to start the car. So let's wait here. Let's see what develops. Let's see what the hippo do. I'll keep an eye on it, or I'll keep an ear on it while I just answer the rest of Ravi's question. So dogs at the top, probably leopard and hyena around the next. Lions at about 30%. I think cheetah only I think they only catch about 20% of what they chase, maybe 30. So dogs way out in front, with about 7 in 10 chases resulting in a kill. Interesting. I've just caught a whiff of them. Did you smell that? Just got a little breeze. I wonder if they aren't just off to the left-hand side there. Little whiff of the dogs. Very strong smelling. And Debbie, I must agree with you that I find it quite amusing that we were sitting here in the lights on and poof, gone. Yes, bit of egg on the face there. But I think we'll just sit here for the next 8 minutes. Oh dear, sorry. And you will see pictures of packs of up to 24, sometimes 30 animals at a time. And Ollie, in the UK, you want to know, does the pack ever get too big, such that it would split? Yes, I suppose it would. It's unusual, though. So, I mean, to have a pack of, say, 24 adults is highly unusual. Normally, because of the offspring leaving every year, the actual adult pack is very seldom... Still no contact. The actual pack is very seldom more than, say, 12 adults. Maybe up to 18 adults. And they'll be happy with that. I'd say probably, I'm just keeping an eye out here, I would say greater than 18 when the eye is coming out the water. You just see a kind of sort of black shadow moving towards us. I'm just going to flick the light on. To the water now. I'm rather rooting for her at the moment, I must say. Hoping that she'll get out and survive. Yeah, she's walking slowly out. So Ollie, I would say about 18 is probably about the size limit of an adult pack. But it very seldom gets to that size where they're all adult. And they'll move off after the first year. Males in one direction, females in another direction, and they'll form packs with other dogs. A small pack like this, like I say, I think we'll find that some of them will stay for the next year. The Nyala is now out of the water, and it does beg the question, where are the dogs? And as Christy has asked, will it know that they're gone? If those dogs get wind of it, they'll come now. But if it can sneak away and get a little bit of distance between it and the dam, it might be okay. Now, it's come out of the dam. I feel it is rather stupidly going the same direction that it did the first time it came out. The dogs again. They're still around. Okay, it's gone round the corner, so I'm going to turn the light on. I'm not so worried about the hippo in the light. He's just going around the corner, so we can't see it anymore. So we'll just turn the light on so that there's a little bit of light in the situation. So we saw those two elephants earlier. I think you got a brief visual of those tusks shining in the darkness there from that bull, and then I saw a cow just around the other side just after that first time that the Nyala came out of the water. And Monique, you want to know what comes down to drink at night? Monique, there's no rule. You will find, though, it's more likely to be the nocturnal and drink at night time, though. And I mean, the best way to check that is to flick onto the Juma Dam cam or the Arathusa camera or the Tau camera, which is in Madikwe, or that one at Pete's Pond, and watch it at night time. Maybe flick it on, keep it in the bottom screen of your TV perhaps, and you'll see that lots of things come down to drink at night. I've seen plenty. Rhino will come and drink at night, buffalo will come and drink at night. Normally the bigger animals that aren't in such danger, and the smaller things like Nyala and Impala will avoid drinking during the night time because obviously they can't see what's going on. So the Nyala's gone around the corner. The hippo thought about getting out the water. And I think it's quite unusual that these hippo have not come out of the water. And Ellen in Arkansas, well, that pretty much answers your question. Will they come out, but are they not coming out because of the dogs? I wouldn't have thought so. I mean, these dogs pose no danger to hippopotamus. I suspect they came out yesterday with Brent standing here. So I've heard nothing further. Thank you for your very kind compliments, Joanne, on my narrating skills. We are soon to be departing. Now I'm just going to... I think we would have heard the Nyala. All right, that's it, everyone. Lovely yawn from the hippo, a bit of a yawn from me coming up, and also Brian, thank you. Wonderful afternoon, incredible questions and comments. Thank you so much for them. Big thank you to Brian, holding the cell phone, doing about 30 things. He's using his feet as well at the moment. Thank you to Louise and Tara and Brent, the broken aerial of Wendy and Andrew. We will see you tomorrow morning, 5:30 in the morning. I hope you had a good time tonight. I certainly had an incredible time. We'll see you in the morning. Bye-bye.